Hey y'all, welcome to the Stories That Sparkle podcast. I'm Hella Rader and I'm really excited about today's episode, my conversation with Jaclyn Dima. She's a New York City-based performer, musician, just vocal genius, and so much fun, by the way. She is so full of joy and rebellion, and her voice is incredible. So, it's the whole real deal package, y'all. And I'm really excited because we talk about the story behind her new single, I Won't Dance For You, how that came to be, the production of it, what made her want to write that song right now in this way. So yeah, it was a real fun time. We also get into thrifting and 80s and a whole bunch about, siblings. Don't even get me started. I'm the youngest, she's the oldest. So we had a moment about that. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I'm really excited to bring it to you. So I invite you to get comfortable, sit back and listen in and or watch along. Well, hi, Jaclyn.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so good. You're in New York, right?
I am in New York. I am in Queens.
You're in Queens. Oh, okay, right on. I spent a lot of time in the Maspeth, near Woodside area.
Yeah,
So,
I'm in Astoria, so that's nearby.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
fun. Oh, I love it. I'm so grateful that we could get this together. That's awesome because
Yes.
I'm so curious. I have like so many questions about would love to hear the whole story, like what happened in terms of deciding to move away from the music scene, teaching, and then coming back into it differently, and like what was happening there. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear the story about all of that.
Yeah, it's not that I ever stopped. It was more that I stopped trying so hard.
Ooh, okay,
If that
yes.
if that makes any sense, like I came to the city, I grew up in Ohio and I came here to pursue music and it was hard. As we all know, it's very hard. There's no path, there's no clear path and yeah, it was just really hard and making ends meet on top of it. In the process of the making ends meet, I found children's music and became kind of obsessed. It's a bit of anyone who gets into kids' music, most people, like some people, it's not for. Totally get that.
Right.
But the people who it is for, such as myself, we become obsessed and just, like that's all we do. And so I started focusing on children's music as the genre, basically,
Oh, right. Okay.
and
Like
writing and
writing it and singing it and performing it. Oh, I love this.
yeah, I would do some concerts down at the park and like I'm still doing it because I love it. I'm not going to stop doing it because it is so fun. It is just so fun. The kids are hilarious. It's you laugh a lot. It's a lot of joy. So I basically became addicted to it. I was trained by Lori Berkner, who is one of the most magical kids musicians in the whole wide world, and she just taught me all the cool stuff and I just kept going and going and going. And then one day I kind of woke up and I was like, I haven't written a song for grown-ups in like 10 years. Like I didn't even realize because I was just
Mhm.
going and going and doing the stuff and I made a YouTube channel, all the things. Like it was, it's been really fun. I still, that's what I do. But then one day I woke up, looked around, got angry at the world we live in, and started going for it again. And it just started pouring out of me. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, I guess we're doing this now. So
I guess that's what's happening.
I guess
Yeah.
that's happening.
The creative process is funny that way, right? It's just like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going over here. Nope, I'm going right over this way and did not see that coming. Yeah.
Didn't see that coming. And then I Won't Dance For You, which is the song that I'm working on promoting right now.
Right.
Um, I I just love it so much and it means so much to me. And so I was like, I want to record this. I want to promote it. I want people to hear this song because I care about it so much I feel like it'll bring others joy. Jeff Littman produced the song, and in a very unexpected turn, he turned it into an 80s dance pop song.
Yeah, I was listening to it a few times again this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, this has total 80s vibes going on
Yeah.
in it. I love it. I mean, as a child of the 80s, I mean, I was born in the 70s, but in my teens in the
Hmm.
80s, I was like, this is my people right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there is kind of like it's like coming back a bit. Like I've been seeing things on like the NYC musicians page, like, hey, I'm starting a 80s band, and I'm like, you too? So it's I think people are craving that a bit. Like the nostalgia is extremely powerful. I always say nostalgia is the most powerful emotion. There is nothing more powerful. Maybe embarrassment. Embarrassment is quite powerful, but I just think nostalgia like is just so powerful. And I think that like with the way the world is crumbling before us on a hourly basis, people are turning to a time when there was hope, you know? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it might not have been better. We had problems, but back then there was so much hope. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this. That might be what's going on. I don't know. But when we were in the studio and Jeff started bopping around with all these sounds, and I was like, ooh, that, ooh, keep that. And it just kept happening. Next thing you know, we've got this like Madonna thing going on, and he was doing the breakdown just like 2 hours. He's stuck on it, and he was like, I want Phil Collins. I want Phil Collins right here. And I'm like, get it, find it, put it in there. So we've got like, and it just turned into, when it became that, I became more obsessed with my own song. Like, I love this song so much. Oh, I love it so much. And so now, now we're working on one of my old songs that I never released because it never quite made it onto any of my albums back then. So he's 80sing my song Lullaby for me now. So that'll be fun to work on next. Just to see what happens because I've always done like rock, and I had a funk band back in the 2012 era, like funk-ish, I should say, like funk, nostalgic, like doo-woppy, funky, that kind of band. That's what I had for a little bit. And I am laying in. I am vintage shopping like a crazy person. I am doing the blue eyeshadow. Like I'm just laying into it. And
Right.
I'm having so much fun.
Oh, I love this. Well, it just kind of makes me feel like, like it sounded like, because that's what was so striking to me about I Won't Dance for You was that it's quite upbeat and fun. Um, and yet what you're talking about is pretty clearly, basically back off, like get off my back.
Yeah,
Don't tell
yeah.
me who to be. So I'm just curious. So anyway, but there's this beautiful tension to me almost about what you're talking about or what you're saying and the joyfulness and the beat of all of it. So anyway, I just thought it was an interesting combination.
Yeah. And that's interesting you point that out because I've kind of always done that. I'm looking back, like I'm thinking back to my old songs. I'm like, oh, I did do that a lot. Like having more of like a dark topic or a angry topic or a breakup topic or whatever is put like
Right.
a
Put some
fun
fun in there. Yeah.
song behind it. Yeah. So I
Hmm.
guess, yeah, I guess I guess I have a little consistency. I've always thought of myself as a very inconsistent person, and maybe I have more consistency than I thought. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah, no problem. I mean, that's just what I heard. So,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, yeah. No, I think it's really quite amazing. It feels like a reclamation of some sort as well in there, like of your voice. So what has that been a journey for you? Like, I mean, not just creatively, but just in general or like in life, like, speaking up for yourself or,
Oh,
that kind of like reclamation of your voice, I
yeah,
guess. I mean, and
I
yeah,
have.
and you're also a singer. So I think that's an interesting overlap, but I'm just curious if there's, if that's been a journey as well as you sort of navigated the New York City music world and what's that all about? And I'm sure there's lots of shoulds involved
Yeah.
in like what you should do and how you should be. So,
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing to think about. I think what you should do, that's an interesting one. I remember I released an album in '09, um, before I had my band, and my now best friend, who was back then, she was helping me with all my stuff. My best friend Sue was she was kind of shopping the album around, and some of the feedback that came back was, and this is a long time ago, this was the '09 era, and much of the feedback consistently said, we can't do anything with this because her song, she doesn't have a genre. Her songs are all over the place. She's not, and I didn't.
hmm,
Now I think that doesn't matter as much anymore.
right,
I mean, look at like King Gizzard. Like they don't, their style is not having a style. Like
right.
they just go for it. I think that that is something that has changed so much, which is also funny because as I'm finding my voice again, I'm like, I'm sticking with '80s and that's it. That's all I'm doing. I have a style.
Right. Oh, I
I
love that.
switched
Yeah.
it up. I guess I switched. So we'll see how that goes. But with that, I think, and I don't know if this is along what you were asking, but it made me just think to myself that like I am a very political person. I am a very politically angry person. I am very, very left. I'm very, you know,
Mm-hmm.
equal rights or, just all the things. And I will say when the kids' music scene is kind of political. I've
Oh,
never,
interesting.
it is. I've never done it. Well, I mean, I don't know if you like the Miss Rachel thing. She's screaming pretty loud right now about all the things, and it makes sense that it would be because like we're talking about our children, the future.
Right.
And I do follow all my fellow kids musicians on those journeys, and they do talk about things. I have never personally done it. I for my children's music, I was always like, I'm gonna leave my politics out of this, even though there kind of is permission because a lot of them do it. I decided not to, and I think at a certain point, I I was like, I need to let loose. Like I need to just,
Mm,
and I think that's where I Won't Dance for You came from, was just this like explosion. I had been bottling up, I think, in my, because as musicians, we're expressing ourselves. We're creating to express ourselves, and I've been creating solidly to teach and entertain for
mm.
many, many years. And they're good songs. Like my robot song is my favorite kids song I've ever written, and I'm literally teaching the kids left and right when they're two. I'm very proud of that song, and we're just being robots and doing left and right. And that was a very that was a successful song that I wrote for so long. I think I really suppressed myself, and it just it just all started, kind of the floodgates opened, and so
This is you also going, I have things I want to say over here. And I understand that choice. I mean, I generally, if not, I don't overtly get into politics here either. Not that I will tell anyone what they can or can't talk about. That's not the point. Or that it
hmm
never enters the room or the chat, if you will. But
hmm
I do that also very deliberately. in this space. I'm like, there's other spaces
Exactly.
where I can say, talk about that in different kinds of ways, perhaps, and I do and I will. But in this space, it felt important to me to just keep that, chill vibes in terms of that, so that more
Yeah.
stories could get out there and people would listen and not shut down. If it was like overtly, um, political, it makes it harder, I think, for
Yes, for
people to
sure.
to
And yeah,
stay
that's why I made
stay
that
with you.
choice too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally get that choice. And I think I think there's value to that. And I also think there's great beauty in then going, and over here, however, for this other work that, that's really expressing me, I want to do that differently. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is like I don't think I realized that until I kind of just said it to you.
Mm,
Sometimes these podcasts are like therapy sessions.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm having some breakthroughs here. I think I can't wait to tell my therapist. But I did do that too because it is so important to me to keep it separate, just like you said. So I do have two completely different brands now. I have two email. I have like 10 emails. That's beside the point. I've got
Right.
my kids' Gmail and my adult Gmail. I have my kids' Instagram and my adult. I keep them so separate. I think the funniest part about that too is that when I did my branding sessions with Danny to get all of my shout out to Danny,
Yes.
um,
Shout out to Danny, who was
shout out to
lovely to
Danny
work with.
Felt.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we were working on like the colors and everything, the branding, the colors and making my website pretty, I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my God, it's like my kid's website looks oh my God, they're like the same." So so I guess that's a testament to me and what I like and what I am, but like they could very easily overlap. Very, very easily. It's just
Right.
I guess it's just you can't escape who you are. So
Right.
though I
Right.
do keep them separate, they look very similar visually. Oh gosh. Oh, what are we doing? I don't know. What am I doing?
Oh, I love that. Well, I just also I was also relating when you were talking earlier about, I didn't want to be categorized or fit into a genre.
Mhm.
I think there's, I mean, I can relate to that as well in terms of, I don't talk about just one thing, which makes it a challenge when you're trying to get the word out, or, people I recognize want to know what they're going to get, kind of thing, feeling. And I also made that choice similar to you. Like, yeah, I'm going to choose to just stick with the fact that I'm curious about many different things, and so I'm going to go down a few different rabbit holes here and
Mhm.
trust that those people will find it.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was just an interesting. Like, I think that's something about the creative process, or maybe just the journey to finding like what is my voice, or like what is my thing that feels very me. And I think that's an evolution of sorts.
It is an evolution. And I think too, like taking all the time that I took, just doing children's music for so long, I think I did. Even I think, we all the popcorn doesn't pop at the same time. And
Right,
this is
right,
something that, I deal with a lot of parents and I have so many conversations. I'm a cat parent. I don't have children. I have 600 children out there.
right.
But it is always interesting talking to, the parents and the grown-ups and the teachers and stuff like that. And like I had one little girl who didn't start walking till she was 18 months. And I'll see parents getting nervous when that happens, right? And then this particular mom was like, "Yeah, she'll get there." And not worried at all. And that's where the whole popcorn thing, like not all the popcorn pops at the same time.
Right.
And for me, like I'm turning 43 and I'm like, well, better late than never, I guess. But it took me a while. And I don't know, I'll just keep slothing along, I guess, you know.
Well, I'm turning 53. I'm still popcorning, so we're in good company.
It's
It's never too late. It's never too
never
late.
too late. you do always keep evolving, you do always keep learning, and you always keep changing, and that's never going to stop. And now I'm an 80s musician.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, that's happening. That's happening. So, I mean, I have to ask, like, what has your experience been? I mean, because you clearly also love to perform. I mean, obviously, I think that's, kind of baked into the being a musician. There's a performance element that comes with it. So, I'd love to hear a little bit about that, and how that's evolved over time. And then obviously being a woman, and the body, what that journey has been in terms of owning that on stage and being right at the center of things, so to speak, and performing
Yeah.
and like that. Yeah, I'm so curious about that.
I mean, that's always been a conversation, like being a woman in music. It's hard. It's it's hard. And yeah, just I don't know. I've always been very sparkly. I like sparkles. Oh, I've always done that, and you know, owning that, I guess you could say. And when I was with my band back in the day, it was very fun. And I, as far as like performance aesthetic or whatnot, I'd basically just jump up and down the whole time. I just have a microphone, jump up and down. My breath support was phenomenal back then. Amazing. I could jump up and down, no shakes. I was like, put me on Broadway.
Wow.
I got this.
I love
So,
that.
so I would do that a lot. I will also say, I know it keeps going back to the kids' music. It's because I've been doing it for so long. It's
Sure.
like what I know, but doing that work made me such a better performer. It just made me so funner.
Oh, I
It
love
made me
that.
it made me more fun because you can't when you're doing that stuff, you cannot be if you go inward, they'll check out and there's no point in you being there. The kids
Mm,
they'll walk away. They don't care. So you have to be like I don't know, and I'm good at it. I connect with them. I think because I am a big kid.
mm.
I'm silly. I'm weird. I don't care. I'm silly, and they doing that work brought that more out of me. So when I did start playing for adults again, which was after COVID, it took me that long. I started a friend of mine got me some bar gigs, like so I could kind of get back in and like because oh god, my I got like the worst stage fright.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy. And so my friend Caitlin Richards, she has a great album out too, but she helped me kind of start playing for grown-ups again. So I'd play in the bars and I would shake so bad. I'm like, you got to get me some more of these gigs because I have to get over this. This is ridiculous. Why am I shaking? It's like
Right.
they're just
Do you know what that
drinking.
was about? Like, do you?
I think because I had taken myself out of it for so long and I was only performing for kids and kids in a sense hard for some. I'm not going to say it's not
Right.
and it's not easy work. Elements of it have always been very easy for me because I don't know if it's because I'm a cancer. I do the motherly connection. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
they they love they love it. They love doing what you're doing and they follow you and it's easy in a sense, you know? And so then I did a couple like remember when everyone was doing like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok shows during COVID?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
we did like four of those and I started getting better at, but that first one, man, I was shaking. I was shaking so bad. And when everything lifted and we were all starting to perform out again, I was shaking. It was crazy. I'm okay now. Now I'm having
Right.
fun. I'm back to having fun.
Right, right, right.
But
Yeah,
I've
but it's
taken
like,
that and
yeah,
yeah.
it's like, it took me a while on this podcast. Like the first few episodes I recorded, I had to, it took me hours to edit them because I couldn't complete a sentence,
I'm sure. Like
and
I can't imagine.
so it was like, oh, like, with repetition and practice and just keep doing it, even though that sucked. And like, it took me forever to edit those first 10. episodes just to cobble together a coherent thought from me. Um, I got, with time I got better, but it's
For
that's the
sure.
hard part almost. Like I know I need to keep doing it. So I hear that. Like I know I need to keep doing this, but also each time it's like, oh gosh, this is gonna be bracing myself. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. Like, do you remember? I don't know if you watch Stephen Colbert. I catch him when I can, but well, you know,
Yeah.
but I very, very much remember his first show. It was so cringe. It was
Oh,
so bad. I mean, I remember my husband and I watching it together, and both of us were like clenching like this. Like, I don't know if I can get through this. This is really hard to watch. I don't think he's going to have a second show. And then look what happened. Like,
right.
he became
Yeah.
one of the most watched nighttime hosts like of all time, and yeah, he had a really, really awful first episode. I
Yeah.
remember it so well.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that because there was a few podcasts, especially like before, but all definitely during COVID for reals that I was listening to a lot of hours of. And and a few of them like switched from the reorg the shows and whatever. And so, watching them listening to them in real time work it out. And like, yeah, those first few episodes, first few whatever, for a period of time, it was like not great, but I'm like, oh, they're working this out and finding the flow and the chemistry. And it actually helped me, I think, later, like to your point about Stephen Colbert, like in his first show, remember that. Like, okay, just keep practice, just keep doing it. You'll find your voice basically, like what your voice is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just keep hearing that in what you're talking about in your journey from, really like I just hear like you discovering something about yourself in singing and performing and teaching kids and in that environment that you're now able to go, oh, I can take that over here with me. Like this is who I am. Like this isn't a show. And I think that's
Yeah.
I would imagine, like, as a performer, like, what part of this is performative, so to speak, and what part of this, no, this is just who I am, and it's coming out as performance, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, it is. Because, like, I mean, the love of performing is, you know, when you love performing there, and there's nothing else you can do.
Right.
And getting back into it where, yeah, it was hard and I was shaking. That's really interesting what you said, because I think all I had to realize was I'm just doing my thing. And I think when I started doing it again, I was like, must perform, must have it this way and be a certain way and everything. I forgot. Like I forgot. And then I
Mm,
remembered and then I stopped shaking.
right.
I
Right.
just started doing my thing again, and yeah, and then it's fun again. It's fun
Right.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you just made me realize it. I'm telling you,
Oh,
you're like therapist. I'm serious.
so you mentioned that you're married. I don't know that I fully understood that. But so tell me about that. What's that like? Are you both, is he also a musician?
Oh yeah, yes, I married my drummer. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah, I
it.
did that. I married my drummer. But
I love that.
yeah, he's not like, oh, actually he okay, so he's also a skateboarder and he works in TV. He does the audio for a TV network, and he kind of goes back and forth with. He plays in a lot of bands. Everyone wants to play with him. He's great. He's personable. He's rehearsed. He's on time. Like everybody wants to play with him, right? So and then he'll go through spurts where he's like, "Ah, I don't want to play drums right now. I just want to go skate. I just want to go skate." And he will. He'll literally he'll say no to a gig. He'll be like, I'm gonna skate, and then he goes on like skate excursions for months, years at a time. I think he just told me he's feeling like he's getting excited about drumming again. So I can't keep up. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever. But we just did a show. a local show, a full band. So we got to play together for the first time in a while because I haven't. It's hard to get full band things going all the time. Like when I used to have a band, A, that was hard to get together. B, we found a weekly time slot and we were rehearsing every week. I mean, we were rehearsed, right? So now when I'm doing it, sure, I've got Mike, we got the drums right over here, and we play, but then it's like, oh, I gotta find guitar, bass. And I do have a great network. It's not impossible. It's pretty easy with the network and the friends that I have, but you gotta put it together and it takes two rehearsals if we're lucky. All right, let's go. But
Right. Here we
everyone,
go.
here we go. But everyone's so talented, it always works out. But and maybe that's a mindset I have to get out of too. Is like, okay, you're not rehearsing every week. This is not that anymore. But everybody is supremely skilled. Everything's fine.
Right.
And I'm lucky to have that. I am so lucky to have that in my circle. So yeah. So we played a
Oh, I
show
love that. It's
last
one of
month.
the, yeah, it's one of the really beautiful things about New York is that, there's just like this, you get your crew, you have your crew of creatives.
Yeah, basically.
And you just kind of do stuff together. I mean, that's when I lived there, or in the late 90s, like until 2010. That was, it was like the best part. It was like, oh, it's just like a bunch of art, that at that time the Lower East Side was not what it is today, so we did lots of like random $5 shows, which there were places you could do that. You can't, couldn't do that anymore, but that was one of the best parts, is like everyone's just there, like trying to find, just to do the for fun, like just let's have fun and jam, or make stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And that's one of the, like the feeling lucky to live here things that it's such a creative place to be, you know.
Yeah.
It really is. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna go see my mom in Cincinnati, which I'm very excited. I'm a little homesick right now. I gotta see my mama.
Yeah.
And I've been texting a few of my friends like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in town," and one of my girlfriends, Lizzie, she's a phenomenal musician, and I was like, "Hey, can we like do a show together in Cincinnati? It's not like, is that possible?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm on it." She rarely texts me back because she's a mom and she spaces out and whatever. And she was like, "Yes." So I started realizing, actually, in doing that, I was like, I have a network in Cincinnati too. That's cool. Like, I just texted my friend and said, "Hey, the schools are closed at the end of August. Do you want to do a show?" Like, cool. And
Yeah.
my brother's a phenomenal musician too. So I mean, if he might say no, my brother says no to me a lot. But if I
Is he
can
an
get a
older
yes,
brother or a younger brother?
are you kidding? Obviously, a younger brother. No, I'm the original.
Oh,
Nobody,
right, right.
nobody listens. Nobody listens to me. No, even though I'm the first. I'm the firstborn of all the cousins. All the
Oh, wow. You
I'm
really are the first.
I am the first.
Yeah.
And it's like pulling teeth to, like, you guys understand I'm always right, don't you? Like, what is so hard about this? This is I'm obviously always right.
Right. Clearly. Hello.
Clearly.
Well, as the baby, I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny.
As the baby, like, don't tell me what to do. Yeah. So
Don't tell me what to do.
just like outright, like whether I might even agree, but I'd be like, just on principle. Like, like, no, because you said it. No. So
I feel that with every bone in my body.
it's a funny, it is a funny thing, those age differences with siblings, like the sequence of it. Yeah, it's like
Mm,
a built-in thing. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. My brother will be like I've asked him, "Hey, can we work on this or whatever?" And he's like, "Jaclyn, I'm doing blues right now." Okay. Sorry.
I'm not doing the 80s, okay? No.
I did. There was an 80s song that came on, and I was just singing it in my head randomly. And I got a turn out of him. And he was like, oh my God, I love that song. I'm like, see? But no one ever listens to Jaclyn.
Right.
I told you I'm always right. And then he starts playing it. And I'm like, see?
Told you.
I told
Oh
you.
wow. So you're gonna so it sounds like you're planning on doing some like not just this one show, but maybe more shows in the Midwest, Cincinnati area.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if like the touring type world is for me. I don't know about
Right.
that. But I definitely love the idea of like I have friends in so many different places. Like I texted my friend in DC last night and I was like, "Hey, I have this idea. Do you want to whatever the idea was, probably singing some 80s duets. I don't know." And yeah, she was like, yeah, like let's book something in DC and have everybody come over and do a sing along or something. Like just doing things in other places. Very
Mm-hmm.
planned and calculated. I mean, I understand that's what touring is, but
Right, right. Yeah, but there
but
is a
not
difference
that.
between getting in a van and like driving around for 3 weeks straight. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't think that's for me,
Mm-hmm.
but doing things in other towns where I have community, I think would be really really cool because I haven't really I get so many ideas and they just my brain never turns off and I think it's just time to like do wacky things like that, you know?
Right.
I think that'd be a lot of fun, especially with this like thing I'm doing. Like let's sing some 80s and 90s music. Hey, let's write some 80s and 90s music. Hey, just
Right. Yeah. I love this. And I just heard you say, I mean, it's a recurring theme of community and, different ways of building community and or connecting to an existing community. And I, as someone who has a lot of friends around the country, I relate to the like, oh, it doesn't need to be limited to just where I am or where my home is, but it could I can there's opportunities all over the place to connect into that. Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean, maybe COVID made us sort of it forced us to do that a little bit with like, you know, everything was on Zoom and we were doing things with people everywhere else and it does kind of makes you think like we can do community in other places too.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
it's so possible now and there were I mean working with Danny, shout out to Danny Feld again.
Yeah.
She's in California. I'm in New York and she helped me so much. Like
Right.
yeah,
Right. And I love that you did that. Like you're like, I'm going all in on this, on the releasing this song. Like I love
I
that.
did. I
Like
did.
that stands out to me. I'm like, she went all in. Like she got a website made and like a person to help her and like, help her get the word out and like get to places to talk about it. So yeah, I think that's really amazing.
Thank you. It was I really felt it. I wanted to I really really wanted to. And I have the grown up money
Right.
from
Right.
teaching for so long that I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do something for myself. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
something all out for
Right.
myself. So
Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, I was recently talking to someone else about that whole idea, like, my self care or my thing will always somehow always came last. And now, taking that back in a sense, like with, not like complete like a maniac or something, but like actually like what I want, like this is important too. And I get to invest in that for myself. Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And and we should if we can. Like, you know, we go on vacations if we can. You know, we got hobbies. We got things. We
Right.
got things. We got
Right.
things. I got, and now I'm hobbies. This vintaging thing is out of control because I did go. I went all in. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna website, PR, all the fun things. Well, obviously, I need to go vintaging and get all the '80s stuff.
Right.
Obviously, well, now I'm just like addicted. It's a problem. I got, because I want to. when I retire, I want to open my own vintage store. So
Ooh,
so that's why I'm not really apologetic about that
it's
one.
research. It's research.
It's research. It's a fun hobby that's outside of music, you know,
Right,
and
right.
it keeps you going a bit. And I do children's birthday parties. And so I'll put that money aside to go vintaging because it's extra.
I love that. No, I love that. I do love that. Like that's a good move.
Yeah,
I
it's
like it.
fun.
I like it. We have financial advice in here, y'all. Like,
Ah, financial advice. Yes,
yeah,
yes, I
like
could
do
do that.
your extra things, set that aside for your mad money or whatever people call it. Yeah, I'm all about
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
love
because
this.
if I don't if I'm dry on birthday parties like for a month, I won't do it.
Right, right, right.
That's how I do
See,
it.
that seems very responsible to me. That seems like
I
responsible
try.
thrifting, vintage 80s shopping. That's what that sounds like to me.
I appreciate that. I really do try to be responsible, even though I'm a big kid.
I fully endorse this. I fully endorse this. So before we close, I ask everybody this one way or the other. But if there was one thing that you would say either to your younger self who's coming from Cincinnati, to New York to like do music and like do the music biz thing, um, or a young person who's doing that today, what would you say would be the one thing you wish you'd known or been someone had told you then that you're like, oh, I know that now, I learned it the hard way, but I wish I would have known that before or it would have been helpful.
Hello, this just happened like right before our session here. This just
Nuh-uh.
happened. No, I'm not even joking. I like figured out what I did a astrology reading and I was like, oh, okay. And it basically said the advice I would give is don't stop. And I'm not saying don't take breaks, but what I'm saying is don't stop because it's too hard. Don't stop because it's not going the way you envisioned. Keep doing what you're doing because it's not the destination, it's the ride. Shout out to my friend Andy who wrote a really great song that's the lyrics. It's not the destination, it's the ride. It you I should not have stopped doing what I was doing just because it wasn't looking the way I had envisioned. There are so many different outcomes and so many different like I'm grateful that I got into children's music. I'm so grateful. I am so lucky to have found that. But I shouldn't have completely stopped until now. Again, I am grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I came back and I'm doing this because I'm really happy right now and I'm excited. And like, having this conversation with you and all this stuff. So I guess that would be the big thing is like just because it doesn't look the way you envisioned it doesn't mean A, it won't, or B, something else won't happen, or just keep doing your thing, keep being you and doing your thing, whatever that looks like. And
Hmm.
and making connections. Oh God, making connections. Easier said than done. Way easier said than done, but that too.
Right. Oh, I love that. I really do. Because I mean, yeah, that's something I had to make decisions at various points. Like once I finally was like, I'm going to do this after 50, whatever, 40 something years of not. Um, even then it's like, oh, it gets hard or it doesn't look the way you think. And you're like, oh, yeah. So I really like it's such a critical piece to just keep going and trust that it'll work out however it's supposed to. Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
so easy to like get discouraged and stop. It's
Sure.
so easy. Like, might as well not,
Right. Right.
but then doing what I'm doing now and looking at it like that, I'm like, oh man. Well, at least I can get on Hella's podcast and say it to someone who will hear it.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because I think no matter what it is we're doing, it's so easy to get discouraged and just give up. So,
Hmm.
or pivot so dramatic, or leave a part of ourselves behind. Like I heard you say that in there. you were doing music, but not alongside it. You weren't giving yourself the space to do your adult music in parallel. And I hear that. Yeah. So I think it's really brave and beautiful that you're doing it now. Like,
Thank you.
and because you've been doing it this whole time, maybe just in a different form. So yeah, that's amazing.
Thank
Aw,
you.
yeah, you're so welcome. Well, I'm so grateful. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, I'm up in New York often, so I will keep an eye out for a show you might be doing and come see you perform.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for having me. This was a lot of fun.
absolutely, absolutely. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to The Stories That Sparkle, a space I created for women to share in their own voices the intricacies of their stories. And another huge thank you to Jaclyn Dima for joining me and for sharing this amazing story with us all. And I mean, what fun we had. It was a real blast. She really is so much joy. It's really contagious, I have to say. If you want to hear her single, I Won't Dance For You, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music. And of course, you can read all about Jaclyn and find out more and keep up with what she's up to by going to her website, jaclyndima.com. So, all that will be in the show notes, including her Instagram handle. So go check all of that out. And of course, please do me a favor and consider passing this podcast on to 2 friends, just 2, and invite them to listen, subscribe, download, follow, all the things. And if you have a story you want to share on an episode of the Stories That Sparkle podcast, I am open to submissions. So go to hellarator.com/submissions, fill out the form, submit all the things, because together we bring light into dark places. I'm Hellarator. With a good sense of humor, an open heart, and an open mind, I love to explore the very human complexities in others and in myself. That's why I created a space for women you have never heard of and could easily pass on the street to share in their own voices the intricacies of starting over in life, building community, inhabiting their bodies, and more. Welcome to our Disco Ball, the stories that sparkle.